Hi everyone and welcome back. In this episode I'll show you an example of how traveling sometimes doesn't go as planned. I met Jannes, a fellow traveler who's almost a local here to this area around Son-Kul Lake, and together we went on a fantastic mountain adventure on horseback just by ourselves. But things turned out a bit differently than planned. In this video you'll see what happened. Where are the horses? But let me start from the beginning. If you have watched my last video, you'll remember that I've met a girl called Saskia. She's from Belgium and she connected me with another friend of hers, Jannes, who is on his way to my next destination, Song-Kul Lake. We got in touch and decided to do a trip together as we both like outdoorsy, adventurous stuff.
Oh, this one is very
Jannes
big.
is not a typical tourist to this area. He comes back to Kyrgyzstan almost every summer and he made friends with a local family at Song-Kul Lake. That's why he always has a place to stay there and also does some guided tours to the lake.
Amazing.
Welcome. The home of Timur is my home and it's your home. Now.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Timur.
Timur is basically his Kyrgyz brother. He runs a travel agency that offers horseback riding trips to Lake Song-Kul. At the moment, he's also building a house here for his family so they can all live here in winter together.
So cozy.
Yeah, you'll probably sleep here. Yeah.
Timur owns a bunch of horses for his trips and we arranged that we can have 2 horses for a few days to ride into the mountains.
Looks
See how
strong.
he's free? Like
It's
the other
very
ones
free,
are
yeah.
tight. But Patrick, they just
He will never run away.
Yeah, Patrick.
Patrick!
It's just eating.
Very busy.
Yeah.
Cute. We will go grocery shopping now with the horse. Let's get some apples for you. Okay, let's go. Go. Like this? Yeah.
Going to the supermarket on a horse, I've
You know
never thought about this option before.
Yeah. Cars parked. Yes, so fun. Now let's get the bread.
The supermarkets in Kyrgyzstan are not like you know them from bigger cities. They are basically in a private house and you can't find everything, only the necessities.
Do you like sweet stuff?
I do.
Well, we take some tea. Should I carry the bag on the horse?
No, it's okay.
The first supermarket didn't have fresh bread, so we went to another one.
The bell is broken.
Oh, yeah, it's very bulky. And this is another shop. Ah, there's someone coming.
Okay, we have all the groceries for the next day, so nothing left to do than bringing back the horses to the field so they can grass for the rest of the evening.
Wow, look at all this grass. All for you. Now you're starting here already. Go to the other grass. Good morning from Kyrgyzstan. I'm here in the heart of Kyrgyzstan. The sun is shining on my face and I'm just full of excitement because do you remember the girl I met, the sister from another mister? Saskia from Belgium, I met while I camped on Kok-Boru Lake. We were clicking so well and she told me about another friend of hers who has been to Kyrgyzstan 6 times already and he's actually here right now and he stays with a local family at Son-Kul Lake And she told him about me and that I'm traveling around the world and I actually really want to learn how to ride a horse, because I think I've never told you about my biggest vision, my biggest dream. One day, or hopefully next year, I want to buy a horse in Mongolia and ride through Mongolia for a few weeks. And this is something I need to prepare a little bit more for. And one thing is learning to ride a horse. So I sat only once on a horse in the past few days, and when I was very, very little. So I have a lot to learn, and this guy is the definition of a cowboy. He can teach me how to tie the horse, how to camp with it, how to like speak to it, everything that comes with that. We will get the horses for 4 nights and we will just go into the wild and camp there. We will visit his family that adopted him. And yeah, I'm so excited. I haven't had such an experience here in Kyrgyzstan yet, and I really wanted to have like a super wild one where you don't have internet connection for a few days, where you just bath in the next river and you sleep under the stars in your tent. Yeah, we will saddle the horses now. It's all packed. We have our tent, we have our snacks, and we have our drive, so nothing is stopping us now. Let's go! Hey! This is Kok, literally my ride or die for the next 5 days. It's a very, very, very sweet horse. We're going on a trip! Five days in total, right?
Yeah.
4.5,
4
something
nights.
like that.
Yeah.
Tell everybody I'm on my...
Oh, he's lonely.
It's seeing us off.
It was because you were singing he started.
So our rough plan was to spend 1 or 2 days in Kilemshi Valley and then head over to Son-Kul Lake.
Of course.
Sometimes it's interesting how fast you trust others. We had only met a day before and were still strangers at this point, but we could feel like we were on the same wavelength and we would get along well. Even on this horse trip, I wasn't allowed to stay on the horse 100% of the time. Mine was once so frightened by a crow flying away that it suddenly jumped to the side and I was suddenly lying on the ground. Fortunately, nothing happened, but it's very important to get back on the horse right after it happened, otherwise you might develop fear.
Here, honey. Down there. Okay. Good job. It's your little foo-foo. We've been riding for 2 hours maybe, and now we're having a break by the river and a swim maybe because it's quite hot. And now we'll have some snacks.
After the break, we were ready for the best views of the day.
It's so cool. Amazing.
we decided that this place will be a suitable camping spot. Jannes is tying the horses' legs with a rope so they won't move around too much at night, but with some leeway so they can still roam around freely and graze to gain strength for the next day. They are definitely freer than in a stable.
Should we just put 2? The magic soup.
Bread, oats, and two kinds of soup. That's right, that's enough.
Oh shit.
Now it's an oatmeal.
Mamma mia.
Yeah.
We just imagine the bread is potato and the oats is rice.
I always do that.
Oh my god, it looks horrible. But it was actually okay. And after this warm meal, we definitely slept like babies. The stars were super beautiful that night and we went outside to take some photos, but the iPhone picture just doesn't do it justice. The first task in the morning is to check on the horses, how far they went, and to bring them back to the tent.
Good morning.
To speed up the process, I went uphill to search for the horses there. But all I saw was sheep, sheep, and sheep. I was sure that the horses had gone downhill and Jannes would come back with them shortly. But I waited and waited. After 1.5 hours, I finally saw him coming out from behind the mountain, without the horses. I don't want to say it, but it very much looked like we lost them. Jannes said he had spotted a herd of female horses nearby and his guess was that our male horses came too close and were chased away by the king stallions guarding the herd. So what should we do? We decided to leave the saddles at the shepherd's place and hike back to Kyrgyzstan. Maybe on the way we would find them.
Let's go get the horses.
Usually the horses here return back to their home. That's what we were hoping for. We took another way than where Jannes walked before when he searched for the horses, but we wanted to make sure to look in every corner. But this path turned into a gorge very soon and certainly no horse came down here.
That would be nice.
We were still optimistic to find them soon and didn't feel bad to enjoy the views on the way. But again, no horse far and wide. I know I'm the worst YouTuber ever, but I have to admit I forgot to record an explanation video, but here is the good news. The horses were back the next day. They were spotted by a neighbor chilling next to a river and having the feast of their lives. This 4-day horseback riding trip had turned unexpectedly into a 1-day horseback riding trip, but at least the horses were safe and sound and we didn't lose our mood. Now the horses were needed for another tourist group, so we decided to make our way to Son-Kul Lake on foot.
Oh, it's so happy.
We took a shortcut that would take about 5 hours to reach Song-Kul. It is a visible trail, but it is not marked on Maps.me. If you ask the locals, they will show you the way.
I am not a raincoat here to keep you warm. Then go back in the closet after the storm. I'm not a match simply waiting to burn. All I am is a friend, your friend till the end. I'm not your impression of a city wish you loved more than everything you gave for it. And I'm not here to criticize the risk. All I am is a friend, your friend till the end. All I am is a friend, your friend till the end.
My next few days were filled with relaxation and joy. I played a lot with the dogs and enjoyed the warm sun outside. And I spent cozy hours in the yurt drinking tea when it rained.
I am not a witness here to call you in for the things that you done, for the thing that you did. I'm not the shadow.
Here we processed warm milk into a cream-like dairy product called Timur by using this virtual machine. We often played volleyball or a game called Kartoshka. Or we exchanged travel stories with other travelers. There was so much to observe, so much to learn. I would definitely never get bored. Timur desperately needed a new haircut and I did my best not to mess it up. Our shower was a cold lake or the water from the stream that flowed down from the mountains. The rain has stopped and the guides wanted to play Kok-Boru, which is the national sport in Kyrgyzstan. It's like, I can't really describe it yet, I have to see, but it is several men riding horses and they fight for a dead goat without a head. So the ball is basically the corpse of this goat. In order to make this game happen, the tourists would collect around 50 euros and buy a goat from a shepherd nearby that would make the ball for the game. Kok-Boru, or also known as Buzkashi in some other countries, is a traditional Central Asian game. In simple terms, it's like a form of rugby on horseback. The players on horseback try to grab a goat carcass from the ground and score by putting it into the opponent's goal, which is often just a circle marked on the ground. It requires skillful riding and control to play, and it's a popular and exciting sport in Kyrgyzstan and in other Central Asian countries. After the game, the goat's meat is cooked for a communal meal.
It needs some time to dry and then you need...
Life takes a different pace here. Slower, richer, more saturated and incredibly peaceful. It felt as if, in that moment, I didn't need to be anywhere else in the world. That's also why I extended my stay by a few days beyond my original plan. On the 5th day, I decided to head back to Kyrgyz. The idea of tackling a difficult hitchhiking route the next day came into my mind and I was looking forward to the next adventure.
Oh, we're leaving!
Looking back, this trip started out a bit chaotic because of the horses being gone, but in the end it was once again a perfect trip. Now, if you're planning to come to Kyrgyzstan, I would recommend you to visit Mito's Yurt camp. It is the most authentic yurt camp at Son-Kul Lake because it is run by a lovely family. If you would like to combine your trip with a horse riding experience, you can contact my friends Jannes or Timur for a guided tour. You can find their contacts in the video description down below. That was it for today. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, and I wish to see you in the next video. If you like, give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Thank you!